Hello, welcome back if you are back, or welcome if you're not coming back. If you hear any weird noises in the background, by the way, that's my dog. I promise you'll know what I mean if you hear the sound. Yeah, so this one, the original idea was to build a kind of like a stately home / manor house thing on top of a mountain, on the peak of a mountain. So it would be like a normal kind of looking stately home type thing in a weird place. That was the idea, like literally perched on the peak of a mountain. I might still do it actually, but what it turned into was I got quite a long way with it, and it was the food hall, what I call the food hall now, which is the one furthest back. You might be able to see it on screen now, but it's the one that's like further, this one here to the left. And it kind of evolved into what it is, multiple buildings. The bit on the front of the food hall is the treasury, and the main body of the building, the top part is the food hall, the bottom part is the library. You'll see in a minute, a bit later on you'll see. And then you've got the workshop that you're looking at now. The tower is obviously the thing that looks like a tower. That's got a bedroom in it. It's got a portal hub in the base that you use to get into the building. It's got a bedroom at the top. And then the thing at the bottom of the slope is that kooky kind of looking building is the magical laboratory where you can brew potions and stuff like that. Then the workshop is the thing. If you keep going down and around and up, that's the workshop. Crazy Inventor's Workshop, which has the workbench and forge in it, and the magical laboratory has the magic crafting stuff and the newer crafting stations and stuff like that. It's all fully upgraded, so you could say it's an end game base. You know, it has everything it needs in terms of like crafting stations. They're all upgraded. It's got a fully upgraded kitchen and all that. So I thought I'd talk now about the exterior of the buildings and some bits and bobs about, mainly about the roofs actually. I'll start with whatever one pops on the screen next. Workshop. So workshop it's just a house really. It's a square shape cube on the bottom. You see it's built on stone. So I started with stone on the bottom because when you put wood on top of stone, the stone kind of resets the wood, which means you can build more. So if you build up as far as you can with stone and then add wood on top, you will end up being able to build more, in case you didn't know that. And black marble you can go for a little bit further with it. It's a bit tougher than stone, but I chose stone anyway because of the look, and that's all I needed. The workshop, I was trying to make it look industrial. That's why it's got the blast furnace on the side. The blast furnace is there. It's functional, but it is just another chimney. That's the idea. It's got an obliterator on the side, which is not really functional. You could use it, but it damages stuff around it, in case you didn't know. I put it there because it's kind of like an electrical aerial type thing. It looked kind of industrial. The chimney is just a kind of like standard chimney, functional chimney. It's an actual chimney, you know. The fire does connect to it and everything. Smoke does come out. And I just tried to make it look kind of large and industrial. There's kind of shiny thing on the top. That's actually the newer gear, that weapon. It's called the Himlaf something or other. It's my favourite weapon. But there's one in the front and one in the back, you'll see. You can kind of see it glittering. They're meant to look like electrical aerials as well. I just shoved them in the roof. That's about it with that one. It's suspended off the side of the cliff, you can see. And that's done with the poles you can see coming out of the cliff. And then the sort of what looks like wooden planks, that's actually the planks are there just to hide the iron bars that are cupping the build. Main thing with the food hall, you've got the skylight at the front. that's the main thing I wanted to mention. It's just 45-degree ladders, and the whole reason it's there is because the food hall's up there. I wanted it to have like an awesome window. It's like 10 ladders, I think, and then you kind of like filled in the bits around the edge with just wooden planks and things like that. The reason it looks smooth along the edge is because I shift-clicked wooden planks along the edge, like a second layer, to cover up any bits that were sticking out. The roof itself is just, I think it's like 45-degree roof pieces, connected to two 26-degree roof pieces, and it all just meets up nice because everything is even around the outside. If things are even, normally the roof will meet up. If the length and width is even. And the roof peak, probably don't have enough time to explain how to do a roof peak, but I wanted to have the roof peak because that allowed the skylight to go in at that angle. That was the idea of having the roof peak. And then just above the treasury, that roof is like, was a that took quite a while. But it was kind of, you can see it's like a cone shape, and I made the short version is I made kind of a frame out of wooden bits and then attached everything to the frame. The reason I had to do that is because I wanted the top bit, I wanted a space at the front so I could attach like a decoration, the raven, and I wanted the top part of the roof to sort of like stick out a bit. Yeah, so that happened because of how you just got to sort of play around. I would, if you do want to do something like that, you have to. The only way I could find to do it was to make like a wooden frame and then attach the roof pieces to the actual frame itself. Because the frame, if you angle the pieces of wood in the frame, it gives you like multiple snapping points if you just like play around with it. And you'll see next time you look at that treasury roof that it's symmetrical, but like things are like snapped in different spots. So this is the workshop roof, nothing special about that. It's just like a standard roof, The tower roof though, that's a cone, but rather than sort of like filling it in so it becomes a cone, I've just kind of like I decided to put in like dormer windows because the tower's an octagon, so there's a dormer window on each side. I think it's a dormer window, I think that's what it's called. So it's got 360-degree view, and then the extra roof on the top is just for letting the smoke out. And there's a bigger window on the front facing the staircase. Treasury, I'll try and say as much as I can because I think it kind of all gets a bit mixed up, but in the footage. The treasury, you can see it's all thematic. That's the table in the middle. There's the grate. I wanted the grate there in the floor so that you could, take advantage of the view because you're actually above the trees. And I think at some point, if you look down, you'll see I put a little sort of Easter egg type thing. There's a secret chest, anyway, that I put down there. A mystery chest. And I won't say what's in it. It's a mystery. And you can't actually access it. You'll see that as you go through. But anyway, this is the entrance. This area is what I call the library. That fire in the middle, it's a fake fire. It's all circling cores. It makes a cool sound. It doesn't give off any heat, but it looks like there's a coal fire. That's just a black marble block with wood around it, and then iron cage pieces, then an iron cage piece on the top, which you've got to put there so you can put the black marble spires on top to create the point. And then the corners are just kind of black marble spire pieces, but they're embedded in the ground. There's a drink. What else is there to mention? I would call it like a drink cabinet, I guess. That's that and the bookshelves. They're all made in kind of a similar way. So it's just like 2-meter wooden plank pieces. I don't know if that's the right word, but and then you've got I use like wooden wall pieces, the 1 meter ones, and just built them up to the height that however many. So every meter on top, you'll give you a snapping point to put a floor piece in, and then you just line the floor pieces up and you can create shelves. And then it's normally best to sort of put a back on it and then rim everything with wood, just so it looks a bit more realistic. And the actual books themselves are item stands, just arranged, and that you can leave the books on the table there. But the thing that creates that effect in the sort of potion cabinet drink cabinet thing, they're actually stalls, sort of lined up next to each other. And you put item stands in between, you put the potions on the item stand. These carvings in the wall are decoration pieces, and you can probably see there on the door. I just shift clicked some extra pieces of wood in to create snapping points so that they would sink into the wall and look like carvings. And there's another sort of raven thing there on the wall by the chests. The chests are just storage. All the lights are arranged as like reading lights, I guess. I was really happy with those like carving things. This is a little spiral staircase. I think there's time to talk about this a bit later, but it's it's just a spiral staircase that is at the back. So this whole area is meant to be the food hall. This thing that you're looking at now, that's just all the shelves and everything are made in the same way that the bookshelf is made, or same principle. Some of the doors actually open and close. I forget what they're called. Shutters. They're shutters. The oven is made in the same way that the fire is made downstairs. So those are circling cores again, and it's just like it's made to look like an oven, like a roaring kind of oven. That's why I put the pie on top and everything. There's a couple of crafting upgrades in there, like the butcher's table there. You can see, and the pots and pans. Everything else is just arranged to look nice, like a cooking area, like a sort of busy cooking area. These are all the drinks, so I put a little shelf up the top, and there's some cooking books there, and I put the boar head in as like a book stop. Everything else is just made to look like a cooking area. And there's another little shelf here with some jam on there and whatnot, and I put some sort of, that's cooked meat, I think, if I remember rightly, so I cooked the meat first. There's one more thing to say about the back bit, but I'll say next time it sort of pops up. All of this area is meant to look like just a space where people would kind of gather and eat and drink and stuff like that. So you've got the big long table with the throne where the Lord would sit with the feast on top. I left this side bit open for the view on the workshop over there. Nice roaring fire. This is mainly thematic, although you could use it. There is another kitchen in one of the other areas that we're going to go to in a minute. And you might notice I always like to do the floor. I use this a lot, like alternating the floor pieces. I just think it looks nicer. The idea with the balcony, by the way, was I just thought it looked cool, you know. You're looking down into the throne room from the balcony, kind of thing. There was one other the bar kitchen thing. This thing at the back here, so you can see like 2 cooking stations with meat hung off them. The only way you can do that, you can only build those over fires. So the whole build is built on like stone and then wood on the top. So I built the stone up, created a floor piece even, put a fire on top, then put one of these cooking stations on, then put the meat on, and then before the meat cooked, I destroyed the floor piece, and then you do it again for the other one. You just keep doing it until you get them in the right place, so it curves with the table. That's the only way you can do it. And then you destroy the floor piece and you build the shelf or whatever. So it looks like it was, so it ends up looking like this little thing that you hang meat off of. Cool little effect that I was happy with. There's a secret little chest with like just behind the throne. I don't know if you'll see it, but it's just there for sort of materials for the fire and stuff. So now we're back downstairs. Something about the drinks cabinet is that I added like a little lip at the bottom. You'll probably see it's like it's just an extra piece of wood, shift clicked in, just to make it look a bit different from the bookshelves. There's some stuff I put in between the chests. You can see there, that's just aesthetic stuff, glowy, cool looking stuff. That's a little eating area there. So this, the fire pit here. Like I tried to use trophies from the Mistlands. So that's a Jotun hammer there. I just really like the look of it. And above it is a Mistlands trophy. So I'm trying to, because we're in the Mistlands, I'm trying to use a lot of like stuff from the Mistlands. Oh, what the wisest among us still does not know that cruelest trick of man to take a pleasure that which does us harm. So you come down the stairs, and that little junction you saw in the middle was going to be a seating area, but it's actually turned into just a place to put a chest to store like materials. And you come down into the tower. The tower's got like 3 floors. The bottom is this portal hub. You can see a couple of trophies in there and whatnot. And there's skulls in here. There's a bit of a skull motif on the tower, but the portals connect you to the kitchen that you're about to go into here through the grate. The whole thing is an octagon shape, and I used black cornice pieces and plinths to sort of make it bulgy in the middle. You'll see that more from the outside. It doesn't actually create more space, but you get like, it kind of does, because you get windowsills. You end up with windowsills. You'll see it better from the outside, but the kitchen itself, there's not too much to say. It's just like a fully upgraded kitchen. I left the back off of the fireplace where the cauldron is to let the smoke go out. I built a little sort of shelf around there. You can see the backs off there. I built a little shelf around the around the front of the cauldron fireplace. I was thinking it's kind of like a sushi bar or something, what, like when the stuff goes around. And there's a seat there. You can see I'm actually sat in one of those chairs. And there's some stuff there. It's just meant to be thematic. It's meant to look like a busy kitchen. And I got the level 1 sort of cooking stations there with the iron cooking station. And the seat is positioned at the butcher's table to make it look like it's a place where the cook's sitting and preparing all the food for everyone, and there's a lot of like crafting station upgrades that shouldn't really be there. Like, they're not functional, they're just aesthetic, like the barrel and or the bucket barrel and the tool rack and stuff. They're included just because I thought they kind of look like they could be used for like meat hammering, flattening meat or something, pulverizing meat or whatever it is. I put the like you can see there's a sword on that shelf, the curved shelf. I kind of curved it around the front of the fire. There's a sword on there because I was imagining like the cook coming in, he's got his sword, he just chucks it down, he sits down, he has a bit of lunch, and then he starts cooking. I had something like that in mind. Loads of storage. All the stuff on the table and everything is just, aesthetic, arranged for the colours and the glow and everything. And there's, what do you call it? The bread oven or stone oven, that's actually built into the wall to save space. A lot of the stuff, like you can see the where the chests are, they're just kind of staggered. They're not exactly in line with each other. That's because I built it into the wall to create space, because I wanted to keep the grate in the middle open. I just like the idea of being able to look through the floors. To be honest, I don't think it lets like smoke through or anything. You can probably hear me looking at my script. But yeah, I just like the idea of it. The tables, like the black marble tables, that's actually 2 kind of shift clicked into each other to make it look like one big table to create more space, and it meant I could fit the mortar thing on there, the upgrade for the crafting station. Portal hub again. This is the bedroom. Also, there's not, you can only reach the bedroom through the portal. There's not, much special going on in here. I just wanted, something I forgot to mention earlier is that the Treasury everything about it, the exterior and all that sort of stuff, because it's kind of a throne room as well. So you'll notice it's the only, well, you might notice it's the only one that has a black marble throne, the highest level throne. Everywhere else has throne. It's got thrones, but like it's lower level ones. That was intentional. The only thing to say about the bedroom, really, you know, like there's, you know, it's thematic. There's a barber table in there. The colours and everything. You know, there's a place to have lunch there, and the wisp lights. The way I got those in bed, they're wisp lights, but I've embedded them in the stone. So you put the wisp light in first, and then you put the stone in after, and you end up with you just position it so you've got the bauble and nothing else. 3 lights that never go out, and the heat comes from the brazier. Yeah, so there's not really much else to say about the bedroom, so I'll start talking now about the magical laboratory, which is the next one. If you hear any noises, I think I might have mentioned this already, but you might hear my dog Bert in the background. He's getting restless. I'll try and make this brief. It's got to be brief, because otherwise this video is going to be double the length, which I would happily do, but I don't think. Anyway, I'm babbling. But anyway, the Magic Workshop, it's a, you know, it's a normal house. It's kind of, it works out evenly, you know. But I wanted to do something special with the building because it's a laboratory. So it's got cathedral style windows either side. The roof it's all even, but to get those kind of bobble tower things on the sides that you'll see in a minute, I divided up the final wall piece on the end. The wall pieces are 2 meters, but I used 2 1-meter ones, and then use the edges of the 1-meter one as snapping points for like 45-degree wall pieces coming out, and then I just put the I think they're 26-degree corner pieces on top, and they just fit very neatly. Just did that all the way around. They're hollow on the inside, so I put lights on the inside of it, and then extended the windows out in line with the towers. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but because I've created those dormer windows, it meant I could create those dormer windows and put skylights in. And they're completely waterproof, by the way. No rain gets in or anything. You can see the skylights there. And it gave me the height as well down the centre of the roof to fit in the cathedral windows as well, because those are like 8 meters high. The cathedral windows, that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's just a bunch of squares, basically, if you think of it like that. And then you've got like dark wood arches to make them give the illusion of like a curve. And in the middle you've got like a rectangle rather than a square, but really it's just 2 squares, one on the other, with dark wood arches at the top overlapping, so one's facing left, one's facing right. Anyway, that's what's going on with that, and then the same at the top. And those are iron grates that that I've put inside there. As far as the inside, that's another like sort of drinking cabinet, but here's the potion cabinet. The difference is I put glass on the side to make it look a bit different. The fermenters, just to make them look a bit more a part of the room, I just put that thing around the edge. You can see there. This area, there's just like a sort of worship area. It's not functional. To make that functional, by the way, you have to take the roof off, because the wisp fountain won't work with the roof. All that stone around the outside there, that's you can see like they're hollow there with the light on the inside. The stone around the outside of the door, that's just aesthetic to make it, to zhuzh it up, you know. That's the right way to put it. Made a little platform for the magic station out of black marble, you know, just tried to make it look nice. And you got the bookshelves in there, little potion cabinets and stuff. Cabinet, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but floor areas, you know, with the potions on in even. All the colours, like the green torches and all that sort of stuff, they're just picked to make it look kind of like magic-y. That pumpkin, by the way, which I used in a previous build, as well. That's a Halloween decoration, so you have to wait till Halloween to get that. There's the I was going to say potions. And I couldn't resist adding books, you know, all over the place. That's a dragon egg at the top. I just put an item stand at the top of the window, sort of in the center, and just pop the dragon egg in there. And it fixed in quite nicely. There's the little worship area. Not too much to say about that. There's a little offerings box and stuff and seats around. And I used the same idea, kind of, that I did with the carvings in the walls in the library with those decorations. This is the workshop. I think we already spoke about the outside of the workshop. The inside is just a fully upgraded workshop. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And where I put everything, that little to-do list there, that's a little joke. And it's just, this is all just aesthetic. I like using sappers, sap extractors. You can, for some reason, you can just put them anywhere. And I think they look really cool, so I use them as like, just to add a bit of extra sort of visual interest. There's the supports for the underside of the workshop that we spoke about earlier. You can see it's like a lattice work, and then, you know, it's a pattern here. It's just a cube, big fat cube with a wooden platform on the inside. All of these, you can't see them there, but I wanted it to look industrial with lots of fires constantly burning and all this sort of stuff. There's the at gears that I put in the top that we mentioned earlier on. It seemed a good place to have the bonfire as well. I wanted a bonfire in the middle of everything. The fires that I would call them. There's fires either side of the door anyway, and they're built in the same kind of way that the fire in the library was built, and the oven in the food hall. So it's like suture cores or whatever. I'm not sure what they're called. Surtling. I think it's surtling. But they're meant to look like what's the word? Like I can't remember. But like just constantly furnaces. They're meant to look like furnaces. This is all aesthetic. I used a barber station at the back, just above where we were just now. I know that it's not very exact, but there's a barber station upstairs that I included just to make, because I thought it looked like a little desk. You know, I imagined him writing. And these are all the bows that he's been working on and everything. I just sort of, it's just trying to make it look lived in. And this is fine wood. You know, he would have fine wood over there that he'd be working with. And throughout all these sort of armor stands and everything, I've just sort of mixed up the armor. So that's a fishing hat with what is that? Rag armor? No, it's not rags. Whatever. It's like mixed sets because I imagine he's like working on one thing, chucking it in there. The smoking stuff, I use that quite a lot. That's and then if you put potions, it looks just kind of cool. I think I did it again in this corner, but you can't see it very. There's the sap extractor. The smoking stuff those things are bile bombs, and the other type of bomb with ooze bomb. I think it's the bile bombs that give off steam or smoke. You might see the barber thing now. Maybe not. I thought I'd put a little door there. You know, if you want to come and see the inventor, you have to sort of. This is his private area, so you go. There's another sap extractor because I thought it looked cool. Little shelf at the top with another pumpkin and materials up there. Nice little cozy fireplace. I like to put seats and things like close to the workstations because it, you know, kind of makes sense. They'd be sat at the workstation. And if you look, you'll see like little hammers here and there. Like there's a hammer on the wall there. Adding little things like that to make it look lived in. There's the desk. Well, it's a barber station, but so it looked like a desk. And that's it, really. I don't think there's anything special. All the heat, you know, the heat comes from the fire and the brazier. The brazier's there. I created a little, I don't know if it's worth, I guess it's worth mentioning, created a little wood mesh to hang the brazier off of. You can see up there. Nothing too special, but it's there. That's a lock saddle on the wall, by the way. You just saw. There's a witch's hat on the side there. Not sure if there's anything else in here. There's a cooking upgrade, which I think does actually affect the thing above. But I just put it there because it looked cool. And these are the guns. You know, pretty self-explanatory. I put them here because for this particular build, it might be different for you, but for this particular build, there was stuff coming up on that end. You see the stairwell at the back there. All of this, all the choices there are aesthetic. You can see the treasury roof we were talking about earlier. How grey weird it is. It worked out symmetrical. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't babble too much. See you soon.